Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm reviewing another Star Wars Force Awakens action figure. Now this will probably be titled Star Wars Android or Droid review, as if you're not aware, the droids in the Star Wars universe have ridiculous names. So it was something like CP-ZX4 or some ridiculous thing that I can't remember the name of. So I'm just going to call it a Star Wars Android for the sake of my own sanity and yours too. It's another figure that comes with a collect and build like parts, which is kind of annoying, and I don't really care for those. So what was I going to say? Oh, and this was the second action figure that I got for my 18th birthday. I got this and the Kylo Ren figure, both retailing for $10.99 each, which is quite a bit considering how big it is. This figure's about the same size as a 3.75-inch figure, I'd say. I mean, the only reason why it looks a bit bigger is because his neck is like sort of at a weird angle where it kind of elongates it and makes it look a lot bigger than it is, when actually it is about the same size as a 3.75-inch figure. But as I said in my Kylo Ren review, the thing is, I think the reason why these are retailing for like $6.99 and those are like $10.99 is because obviously brand recognition. They know that they can say that this is like worth $10.99 because it's Star Wars, and people will just buy it because it's Star Wars. So yeah, because to be honest, as much as I don't like the 3.75-inch figures, this one is less sort of, not very detailed, but articulation wise is a lot better than this figure, for sure. I would say like the arm, all it can do is full 360. That's it. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's not got any hand articulation at all. No elbow or shouldery, like, you know, articulation. You know, you can't make it do that, basically. There's no like movement there, and you can't move the hands full 360, basically. So basically what I mean is, like, this is just one plastic mold and that's it, like, for an arm. So it's very limiting, is basically what I'm saying. And then it's pretty much the same for the feet. Not the feet, the legs even. Like, there's no knee joint and there's no feet articulation at all. You know, considering that this will have been released maybe 2015, maybe. I'm not 100% sure when this figure will have been released, but for a 2015 figure or 2014, well, I'm assuming 2015 because obviously the film came out in 2015, and that the Star Wars film, so I'm assuming that it came out around the time, but either around the hype of the new Star Wars film, and that in the lead up to the new Star Wars film, The Force Awakens, or it either released after that or beforehand. But what I'm trying to get at is, it's a very poor figure for what it is. I mean, I like it because I asked for it, because I like droids from the Star Wars universe and I like robots, but to be honest, purely as a figure, it is pretty poor for articulation, like really weak. The head can do full 360 and is on a ball joint, so you can make him look like he's really creepily looking down, and that. I'd say where this figure shines is detail. The detail is pretty decent, like a 5 out of 10, you know, for detail. It's average detail. I'd say the articulation is very poor, but the detail is average, and that, like, to be fair, I think basically this is just like a blue version of C-3PO. I mean, even the centerpiece on the body / the torso, and that looks like C-3PO. And you've even got, like, on the arms, that, like, metal pipe that goes there and stuff on both arms. And that, but I think where it distinguishes itself and makes itself different from C-3PO is the fact that it's got that massive, like, lanky, like, leaning over, like, neck that makes it look very eerie if you do that, or if you do this, like, kind of make him look like he's looking at the side, because that really creeps me out, to be honest. The eyes are decently detailed, and the mouth, there is a little bit of a mouth there, and there is some head detailing, like some ears maybe, and like this thing that goes down the middle, and there is some detail in at the centerpiece, and the centerpiece being gold and the lower torso being sort of exposed with all these like wires and grey panels and stuff. And there is some detailing across the arms, and you know, it's sprinkled with a bit of red paint here and there to make it not just look plain like blue. And that the blue is a nice colour. It's just, yeah, I get why they've made it sort of red in places. And also the hands, I've only just realised this, but the hands are very grey, and that maybe it's like a very old sort of manual laboury type droid, and that as I'm assuming it like just moves boxes in like warehouses or something, you know, as it's capable of doing that, whereas the astromech droids, you know, the droids like C-3PO and not C-3PO, R2-D2 and that aren't capable of moving like boxes, seeing as they don't actually have hands and that. But yeah, it is teeny tiny in comparison to other figures and that, and as I say, for a size comparison, it's not like out of scale with the 3.75 inch Doctor Who figures. It is, of course, with, say, the 5-inch figures and the Walking Dead or other stuff. So yeah, would I recommend this figure? If you're a big Star Wars fan, then yeah, and it's a must-have, obviously, if you're a big Star Wars collector. If you're not that big into Star Wars, but you kind of want to get some of the figures, I think this one could be a miss. I'd give this a 5 out of 10. It's a very average figure, and I think if you're a massive diehard fan of Star Wars, then I think you should get this, and you probably already have this because you're a big fan of Star Wars. But if you kind of like Star Wars but not a lot, like you mainly just want to get some of the figures of the most popular characters, like Kylo Ren or Rey or Finn, then obviously, or the Rebel pilot guy, I've already forgotten his name, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you're a big fan, then get this, but if you're not, and you just want to get the most popular characters, then this might be a miss. As I say, 5 out of 10. So yeah, 5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe, and please do tell me what you think of this figure in the comment section below if you have this figure. Bye.